member of the Select Committee on Intelligence and Armed Services Committee, Democratic Congresswoman Jackie Speier of California. Very good to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Complicated. Should Facebook be doing more, do you think? And should they have done more earlier?
Well, I think we all should have done more earlier. Facebook is headquartered in my district, and I see a lot of great things coming out of Facebook. I'm pretty disappointed by how unwilling they have been so far to work with us and to brief us on the issues relative to all of these fake Facebook pages. I will say that we're all at fault because back in 2015, New York Times Magazine had a huge spread on the Internet Research Agency in St. Petersburg and how 400 people every morning went in there and created Facebook pages and Twitter accounts spewing out all kinds of commentary, positive and negative.
Yeah.
And it suggests to me that we should have been much more aware of this than we were.
I think it's fair to say we all should have been more, but I'm asking about Facebook because they were reticent to even open the books to an extent at one point. Were they not?
They were, but now they have agreed to provide us with all of these 3,000 ads that were paid for, and I'm presuming also the 470 Facebook pages that were fake. But I'm sure there are many more than the 470 that have been identified.
Elise.
Congresswoman Elise Jordan here. Roger Stone is set to testify before the House Intel Committee today, and he has repeatedly asked that he be able to testify in a public forum. Why is this testimony happening and questioning behind closed doors?
Well, most of the interviews that, in fact, all of the interviews that we have undertaken have been closed interviews. We would like to have many more public hearings, and regrettably, that has not been the Republican majority's desire. But I would say about Roger Stone, he has no right to start calling the shots because he hasn't even complied with the document request that was made of him months ago.
John Eileman.
Congresswoman, I want to come back to Facebook and ask you just a kind of really basic question. The company for a long time has maintained we are not a media company. We are a technology company. We are a platform. Given what we now know about what has happened and about the reach of this company and the extent to which Americans rely on it for news and information, what do you think about that? Is Facebook a media company?
Oh, it's clearly a media company. Some 65% of Americans get their news from Facebook now. Most adults are on Facebook. I think we've got to recognize that Facebook has morphed into a media enterprise.
So what are the implications of that for how it should be regulated going forward?
Well, we're going to have to look at that. Right now, we're in the middle of this investigation, and we want their cooperation in terms of providing us with documents.
But we're going to look at that means it is on the table?
Well, I think it should be on the table. Yeah. I'm not saying that it's being contemplated by the Intelligence Committee or by anyone at this point in time, but certainly the committees of jurisdiction should be looking at it.
Casey.
Congresswoman, do you think Mark Zuckerberg needs to testify in Congress on this issue?
I think he would be wise to testify. I don't know if he's been called to testify by the Senate, and I don't believe he has been by the House. Right now, we're asking for documents. And after we receive the documents, then I think what determination will be made.
All right, Congresswoman, thank you so much for being with us. We greatly appreciate it. Mark Halpern.